Mark Yates then play Northampton home this weekend. Mark, first and most crucial question, I suppose. Has everyone who played Tuesday night come through it okay?
Tuesday night? Yeah, I believe so, yeah. We took a couple off to freshen the team up, to make sure that we were, it's a big game for us on Saturday, and we didn't take it lightly. We approached it with the first team, with our main team, everybody as strong as possible, and I think we're okay. Is there can you think of anybody, James? That's, no. I don't think so.
Excellent news there. And do you, in a way, almost want the players to compartmentalise that result, because you should have gained so much from that result down at Aldershot at the weekend, and then you obviously want to take that into Northampton?
Yeah, of course we do. We like to go on. I talk about going on winning runs and undefeated runs, but we've got to bin Tuesday night. We did okay without setting the world alight, but our performance against Aldershot was really good, and we've got to just go again. It was a tough ask on Tuesday. I've since found out a few things. The sort of money that they're paying down there, and not that that's everything, but it was a tough ask. And a lot of their players were in the Championship last year. They were decent. They were better than us on the night, and we have no arguments. But I was relatively pleased with how we played, in terms of we tried to knock it about, especially when the younger boys came on at the end, and it didn't happen for us. We've just got to move on quickly. The league's the important one. We've got to try and get 3 points on Saturday.
Have any of the players you brought in given you anything to think about for the weekend?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, all three of them made an impact on the game. Marlon got in a few tackles and sparked us off. Shruti got on the ball and showed what a good footballer he is. And Theo has done what Theo's done over the last 3 or 4 games when he's come on. He's looked comfortable. He's looked strong, and gave us another option. And they're all coming into my plans. We've only got a small squad, and they're all in my plans anyway. But we'll just I'll pick the team that I think can cope with Northampton, and make sure that we exert ourselves and show that we're the home team, and show the impetus to go and get 3 points.
You've changed the shape around a little bit in recent weeks, horses for courses if you like.
Yeah.
Is there a shape that you think would be best suited for Northampton at this stage?
I'm not a big making big things into what formations we play. It's about the players going out there and being better than their opponents, and that's what I'm looking for on Saturday. Whatever we play, I know that I want 100% commitment, 100% effort, and I want the players to try and do the right thing as much as they can. They'll all make mistakes. It's just important we get behind them, like we've done with 1 or 2 of them, like we've had to do with 1 or 2 of them, and that they'll come good for us. And I'm confident of that. And if they go over there with the right attitude and the right endeavour, I think we can beat most teams in this division.
Northampton below you in the table. Do you feel that the league's beginning to settle down a bit now, and you can sort of read something into teams' form?
I think these are a decent team. They've got some good players. We know that. They've beaten Liverpool in the Carling Cup, so we're not going to be underestimating them. But they've got a good manager who sparked them off last season, and they probably finished as well as anybody towards the end of last season. Just missed out on the playoffs. He'll be expecting better from them. I know Ian pretty well, but we've got to worry about ourselves. We'll talk the players through the opposition. We'll make sure they're all aware of certain things, but particularly when we're at home, it's about us imposing ourselves on the game and making sure that we do everything we can to put in a good performance that gets us the win.
Wesley Thomas okay?
Test him today and see how he goes.
Obviously he's your top scorer and an important player, but you showed down at Aldershot you can win and score goals without him.
Exactly. We're not a one-man team. Wes would be a miss for anybody at the moment. We're hopeful. We're not gonna say yes or no. We'll see how he is today, and we'll go from there. And
the longer term injuries, the Martin Rileys and Frankie Artis, how are
they should be back in training next week sometime. They've worked really hard. I think they're as much frustrated as anybody. Frankie's is one of them that it's a time thing, but we're hoping to get the okay from the specialist on Monday, with a view to him coming back into training Tuesday. So that's good news. you know, particularly if it happens, and I'm sure it will. He's been working well. Martin as well shouldn't be too far away, and then it's just a case of getting them up to speed and back in the fold as quickly as we can. You know, they're massive players for us. You know, unfortunately we've picked up a few injuries. We've had a chat. We understand why at the moment. It's just one of those things. You know, we've not done anything different. We've not done too much, too little. It's just part of football, and you know, we've had a bit of bad luck, but you know, we've come out of it okay.
And incentive for the players who are in the team that as the squad gets back up to full strength, then they've got to fight harder to keep those places.
Of course they have, yeah. Of course they have. That applies, you know, every week. You know, we've got a squad here that we're quite happy to use. We haven't got a first team and a reserves. We've got a squad of players that are all capable of getting in my team, and it's important that they understand that, and it's important that they fight to keep the shirts, and if they do that, then the club, the team, the squad will be a happy place.
Thank you. Good luck.
Cheers.
Mark, in the league, you're sort of even with 4 wins and 4 defeats and 2 draws out. How satisfied have you been with the sort of start you made?
I think we can be relatively pleased without going overboard, John. You know, I always want more. I always want more of myself, my staff, my players, the team I put out there. I always want them to demand more of each other. You know, but I think you see some of the teams below us and you see some of the teams above. I think we're probably in about the right position for what we've done. You know, obviously with the results would suggest that. But you know, a couple of wins here and there, or a couple of defeats here and there, you can move up or down quite quickly at the moment. It's just important that we cement our place in the top half and get as many points as quickly as we can, and particularly while people are out injured. You know, if we can just keep picking up results and getting some momentum, particularly when, you know, you've got your Rileys, your Melligans, your Artists out of the game. You know, Wesley Thomas hasn't played in the last couple. It can be a big boost when you get them players back, and you know, we don't want to need the big boost to go up the league, to stave off, you know, in the dogfight. You know, we want to kick on, and that's, you know, the emphasis I'll be putting on to my players. We can do things this season. We've got a good squad of players. It's important that, you know, we don't pick up injuries and silly suspensions and stuff like that. But when we can get, you know, near our best, you know, 11, and whatever that is on the day, you know, it can change because through injuries and suspensions. But whatever that best 11 is, if we can perform to our level, we'll give, like I say, we'll give most teams a game.
Josh Lowe's a former Northampton player. He came back older shot and showed what a difference he can make, didn't he, in that game?
He did. He didn't do too well on Tuesday. So Josh, they're all big players for us. Like I said before, I think we saw the importance of that against Aldershot. I thought Josh was a little bit below par on Tuesday for him, but that's sometimes expected after a couple of weeks, like a 3-week layoff. You know, you do well and then you have a little dip, and not that he was poor, but I just felt he didn't hit the standards he hit on Saturday. The plan was always to take him off after an hour with a Saturday, Tuesday, with the type of player that he is, and we didn't want him picking up silly injuries, so we looked after. Once the second goal went in, we didn't give up, but we looked after, you know, your Jeffs, your Keith Lowe was just a little tired, and Josh just a little bit precautionary, and that was to make sure that we were on top of our game, you know, on Saturday. And I'm expecting Josh to be perhaps better than he was Tuesday, but you know, back to what he was like against Aldershot.
Yeah, you won your first 3 at home. Now you've gone a defeat, a draw, and a defeat in the Johnson's Paint. So how important is you get back to
it's
winning
massive.
ways at home?
Yeah, massive. Without putting added pressure on the players, you know, I'm not into that. I'm not into saying we've got to do this, we've got to do that. But you know, I think we realise the importance of the game. You know, we're 4-2-4 in terms of wins, draws, and defeats. And we want to make it 5. We want to get the win. And sometimes you need that touch of pressure on yourself without overburdening them. You know, we want them to go and express themselves. We want to play at that freedom, but we've also got to realise the importance of a win. You know, it can, especially at the moment, it can move you up 5-6 places, and you know, that's what we've got to try and do.
Yeah, have you having a look at somebody? You've got a trialist in?
Yeah, we'll do it. You know, a couple of boys in and recommended, or we like the look of. You know, we'll do that. Throughout the season, I've got a few contacts that just, you know, if we see fit to get a.
Yeah. You say anything about the lad you got in?
He's an Australian boy, and he's from a friend of mine who's recommending him to me. And I'll have a look at him and just see if we can go and help. You know, funds are tight. You know, we're not acting. You know, we've got to make sure that we leave no stone uncovered unturned. If something's out there that we can do something with, it's going to make us a better team.